Hey everybody, so today I'm going to walk you through how to make a cover for a bullet journal. I'm using, here I'll kind of just give you a quick idea here. I'm making mine from my Leuchtrum 1917 bullet journal. What I've done in the past is I've done it like this, so it folds on there like that. It's got a little pen holder, excuse me, and a ribbon for the bookmark, and then you'll see it's got these little flaps to shove the journal into, like this on both sides, and then it sits flush like that. So today I'm actually going to try something new, so we'll see how this goes for you guys. And I'm going to attempt to create a couple of little pockets that go on this side of this little flap here. So let's go ahead and get started. So what I have here is I've got my front side, my back side, my little flaps. I've got the piece for the pen holder and then two pieces for the pockets, and then a ribbon for the bookmark. So dimensions here, now this is just for the Leuchtrum 17, so you might want to adjust these if you have a different size journal. It's a traditional A5 size journal, but you know, yours might vary a little bit. So you might have to play around and try this a couple of different times. But this is 12 3/4 by 9, and so is this one. And these are both 9 by 9, which you can kind of vary that a little bit, just make sure that it's 9 by something or other so that it can, your journal can fit inside of those pockets there. Now these ones I actually did not really measure. I just kind of used this as a template and kind of made them generalization of how big I wanted them, because again, I'm testing this out to see how it works. My pen holder is 2 by 3, so that when I fold it, you'll see it'll fit nice and tight in there, and you'll be able to fit a pen right in there. And my ribbon is 14 inches long, and again, you can just kind of play around with it. If you want yours longer or shorter, you can just adjust it to whatever size you have. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do actually is I just kind of lay everything out and make sure I've got it. So I started with my pockets and my pen holder, and I've already pressed them in just by like a little tiny bit here, and sewed a seam on all these corners that are going to be showing, so that way I don't have any raw seams showing. So those three are already done, but that's going to be the first thing that you're going to want to do probably. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do is grab your two 9 by 9 inside pockets, and you're going to want to fold them so that they are, you know, long ways. In this case, they're square, so it doesn't really matter. But you want to fold them wrong sides together, so like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and press those down really quick. One pressed, and then I'll go ahead and press the other one. Sorry for my chair in the way. Okay, so I have both my inside pockets pressed. Okay, so now I'm actually going to kind of tell on myself a little bit, because I am terrible about pinning, but you typically will probably want to pin this together before you start sewing, just to make sure that everything stays together and in place and where you want it. Again, I'm telling on myself because I'm really bad about it. So I've pressed it. Typically you would pin along the edge here where you were going to sew, and then you're just going to do like a scant about 1/8 of an inch seam alongside the folded edge. Have one sewn along the edge, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. Okay, so I have both of my pockets up. My pockets, I guess you would call them. So, okay, so now this is where I'm going to kind of experiment a little bit. So I'm going to just take one of my folded pieces here and take my pockets that I'm going to try to, excuse me, try to use, and I'm going to go ahead and start placing them on here. Now, see, you're watching me just kind of like try to figure this out. So what I think I will do is actually bring this over just a little bit, and I think that I will fold and press this around here to give it a clean edge. And what I probably should have done is waited to sew this edge here until I had these on here, but you know, I was just kind of, again, this is my test run, so we'll just kind of see how this goes. And I think that I'll fold this one around and press it. So then you'll see that I'll kind of fit right there. And then I'll fold this one. This one will go on the bottom here, and I'll do the same there. I'll fold it and press it. So now you could always just skip this pocket section, since again, you know, like I said, I'm just kind of playing around here, and just leave this as is. But we're going to see how this turns out. So I am going to pin this one this time, since these are kind of wobbling all over the place on me. So I'm just going to kind of come over here Get everything in place. And just put a couple of pins right through here. Do one up here as well. Right about here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to stitch alongside here again, just to kind of just follow where I was stitching before, just to hold this in place so it doesn't fall off while I'm putting the whole thing together. See if I can work my chair. So I'll shove this in here, go to the same spot I was in, do a little back stitching, and move forward. Alright, that might not be too shabby. We'll see how it looks at the end. Okay, so I've sewn my pockets on to the side here. They should stay in place there pretty well. And, you know, you can go in here and kind of tackle on here if you would like. I'm just going to put the whole thing together and it'll sew in place as we do that. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm excited. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is grab our front cover and we're going to place it up like this. Just face up on your mat or whatever you're using to kind of lay everything out. You want to find your center spot. So about right here, and you want to put your ribbon right on your center spot like this and pin it in place. Then I just kind of try to lay it flat so it doesn't move around on me. Next thing you want to do is grab your pen loop and you're going to want to press this, but so you're going to want to fold it wrong sides together and so that your stitched ends are both on the top and bottom and your raw end is, you know, the hot dog side. Pressed together, and then you're going to want to put it on the opposite side of your, you know, your monogram or whatever's going to be the front of your journal. Whether you have this on there or not is up to you, but just, you know, make sure that this side is your front, which is your right hand side, and then you're putting this one on the left hand side. And so you want to actually just kind of place it wherever you think is good for your pen. I just kind of set it right about here. Have your folded side towards the inside of the journal, towards the center of the journal. And then you're going to want to pin it in place. Okay. Okay, and then what usually comes next are these two inner pieces. So I would like my my pockets to be on the front side of my journal. So I'm going to try this. Again, this is me just testing everything out. Okay, so we're trying this out. I'm hoping that this works. But we are going to place our pockets on the front side and we're going to have the pockets going face down. And I am going to pin this to make sure that they stay put. And I'm also going to make sure that I get it lined up correctly so that if I have to do any trimming, it's, you know, it's okay. Okay, so I'm definitely going to have to trim that a little bit, but that's alright. So now I'm just going to pin up top here. You know what, I'm actually going to go ahead and trim this now so that I'm not fighting with it. Next time I'll make sure that I cut these a little bit longer, cut my pockets a little bit longer so that way I'm not having to mess around with this. But like I said, this is my test run and I'm trying it out, so we'll just roll with it. Have the front cover face up. I've got my pockets and my other side, and I'm going to do that face down and pray that that works. And then we're going to pin it in place. Okay, and then we'll take our other side and do the same thing. And you want to make sure that the sides that you have sewn your edge on are facing towards the center. I have my two side panels pinned on there with the seam that I sewed down and iron pressed down facing towards the center of my journal. Now I'm going to take my back piece and I'm going to place it on here face down and put a couple of pins in this as well. See, so this is where I'm actually trying to be better about pinning, because otherwise I kind of get a little bit of a wonky setup. So yeah, I'm trying to be better, which I know is a good habit to get into. So I have it all pinned together. Now I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and fix that really quick. Put my pinning thing on this side so I can easily pull the pins out. And I'm just going to sew, you know, as close to the edge as I can possibly get while still having all of my pieces stick together. So it's about 1/8 of an inch seam if you measure. But yeah, just get as close to the edge as I possibly can and keep it nice and straight. So the other thing that I want to note is you want to leave yourself space to flip it inside out. So I typically leave where the ribbon is hanging out here, because you don't want to sew that ribbon down anyway. You want to leave that dangling so that way it can actually go up on the top. You want to sew it on the top, but not on the bottom here. So I typically will start right about here, just to the edge of this ribbon, and then I'll go all the way around and I'll stop right about here. So in that case, I'm actually going to flip it over and start sewing from this side. And we'll make sure that ribbon is out of our way. We'll start right about here. Do a little back stitching to start. And then get going. So I've made it to my stopping point, so I'm going to do a few reverse stitches just to lock it in place and then pull it off. Okay, so now I have it all sewn together, so I'm just going to kind of very gently grab the inside here and flip it inside out, or right side out, I guess. I think I probably could have made this hole a little bit bigger, but that's alright. I'm excited to see if my pockets worked. Hopefully I did them on the right side. Okay, so now a quick thing to note too is, oh, I think I did, yay. Okay, so when you are turning things, you know, inside out, just have an extra string sitting there, they do make a little tool that you can get to poke into the edges there. I also just use a pencil a lot of times, but you can stick your little pencil in there and just kind of feel for the corners and kind of poke your corners out to get them out a little bit better without trying to shove your whole hand in there. So I'm going to poke my corners out. Yay! And then what I'll do is I'll kind of fold this in here, and I'm going to go ahead and just press this whole thing down really quickly. So now I have this all pressed down. I have my opening here just kind of folded in and pressed down as tightly as I can. So now I need to do an outside border on the whole thing. So again, I'm going to go as close to the edge as I possibly can without like ruining everything. And I'm going to start over here just so I get that sewed down first so it's not getting all wonky on me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then we'll see how it fits. Alright, so I sewed all the way around, trim off my last little bit of strings here, and voila! I've got a cover. I'll probably press it one more time just to make sure that everything is all where it's supposed to be. Trim off some of these little extra pieces. Okay, so there is my cover all done. Now we're going to see if it fits and see if I did it right. So all you really do to insert it is you put your front piece in here. Perfect. It's a nice tight fit. That's what we want. Awesome. Okay, and then we kind of just bend it back, and you can insert both front and back at the same time. I just kind of didn't this time. And then you'll want to put this. Now it should, if it fits right, it should be kind of hard to get on, because you want it again to be nice and snug. So then you kind of just pull, put some muscle behind it if you have to. Okay, so then you make sure that you got it pulled on both sides. Have your ribbon up. Those are the ones that go to my journal. And then you close it up and it's perfect. Yay! So this is my awesome little bullet journal cover. And you have your little extra bookmark. Most bullet journals will come with their own, but it's always nice to have more. So you can always add in more ribbons if you want more, you know, bookmarks. But so here's how it looks. Let me trim off that little flyaway there. Awesome! So I've got this. I have my monogram on the front with my little name here. And then you open it up and my little pockets worked. I'm so excited. So what I'm going to use those for is, you know, just stashing little things in. If I have notes I need to use, or I'll probably keep my ruler right in there so that I have it handy all the time. And then, you know, I could always stick an extra pencil in there if I need to or whatever. But, yeah, so you've got the front flap here. And you've got the back flap back here. Got our awesome little pen holder. You can stick your little pen in there. And it works best if you have one that has like a little clip so that it stays on there better. But yeah, that's how that works. And I'm so excited that it worked and it looks good. And I hope that you enjoy making yours. I'll try to put the dimensions for this one below this video so that you have them if you need them. And good luck on making your own cover.